One of the problems of working for small, independent film companies is that sometimes the funding for their small, independent films runs out in the middle and the film is never finished. Or if it is finished, the company goes bust and never brings it out. One of the problems of working for big, rich studios is that the studio may lavish lots of money on big, ambitious, intellectually stimulating artistic films and then just not like the finished product and refuse to bring it out. This is what happened to Brazil. Brazil was made in 1984 by Terry Gilliam. It's the film that 1984 wasn't and should have been. It has all the atmosphere and the preoccupations of Orwell's book, plus references to heavy metal comics, Eisenstein, and Mad. Gilliam said, when asked where the story took place, somewhere on the Los Angeles-Belfast border. It was also inspired by his experiences of a police riot in Los Angeles and by a visit to Port Talbot in Wales. Gilliam began his career as a cartoonist, but made his reputation as the inventor of the cutout animation on Monty Python's Flying Circus. In '72, he co-directed Monty Python and the Holy Grail, the first and funniest of the Python films. He then made Jabberwocky, which we saw last Moviedrome season, if you recall, and Time Bandits, which was a big international hit. Gilliam, like Stanley Kubrick, is an American filmmaker who resides in Britain. He's a highly skilled visualist. Batman was shot by Roger Pratt, who photographed Brazil for Gilliam. It looks identical, only not as good. Gilliam is also a skillful director of actors. How can this be, in one who comes not from the theatre, but from the drawing board? Gilliam's answer: you just cast the movie right, and then the actors do the work. Gilliam's contract with the large and nameless studio said that the film had to be a maximum of 2 hours and 5 minutes long. When he submitted a cut that was 2 hours and 11 minutes long, the sensitive executives announced that they were going to re-edit the film, take out the nasty and the naughty bits, and release it at a length of 90 minutes. This happens all the time in Hollywood. The same fate befell The Magnificent Ambersons, A Star is Born, Naked City, Red Badge of Courage, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and most of Sam Peckinpah's films. The same studio, when it couldn't figure out how to re-edit a film, would simply sit on it. This happened with Two-Lane Blacktop, The Last Movie, and Rumblefish. Brazil didn't get a wide release in the USA, but Gilliam did manage to prevent them from re-editing his film. By going to war with the studio in the pages of Variety, Gilliam made the executives look stupid and won a Los Angeles Critics Award for himself and for his film. He called Brazil part 2 of a trilogy about the ages of man and the subordination of magic to realism, part 1 being Time Bandits and part 3 Baron Munchausen. The studio executives called Brazil interminable to sit through and unreleasable. Here are all 12,842 fantastic feet. Brazil.